Hey guys, Panther0822 here. I am actually giving something a try tonight. And hopefully it's working. It's no. So far so here's what's going on. I'm trying something called Restream.io. And it is a multi-platform stream. It's a free item. Sorry, my mouse was being weird. Yeah, none of those categories actually apply. Sorry for kind of the dead air and the silence. I am actually kind of looking at some things. Let's come back here. All right, let's check our notifications. So right now I'm successfully actually broadcasting on Twitch and on YouTube. I thought I saw something here on Facebook because I'm supposed to be streaming. Okay, there we go. So I apologize if it's a little blotchy or anything along those lines. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, I am using OBS, not Streamlabs OBS, just straight OBS. And there is actually a difference between the two programs. Although one of the things I definitely wanted do. I can kind of hear myself, which means one of these is not muted. Okay. YouTube is muted. I'm gonna venture Twitch is muted, which means it's Facebook. Okay, there we go. And I want to mute audio because I don't need. I don't need that. All right, so I'm gonna apologize up front. I'm kind of leaning to going back to just straight OBS. The main reason for that is because Restream.io actually specifically is designed to work with Restream.io. So that is actually one of the major reasons, because one of the things that I've been wanting to do and haven't been able to do for quite some time is try and multicast, which is what this is. This is multicasting. Unfortunately, when it comes to certain camera things, just plain OBS when I'm using just this webcam is not the greatest, as you can tell by Indigo walking by and you seeing the blur of her motion or my hand across the screen there. That is the downside of this. I know of a fix, but here's the problem with the fix. No. The problem with the fix is that it's the Sparkosoft, and right now I don't have a paid license for it, which means there's an oh so wonderful watermark that comes with it. I am talking with the wife. I am hoping to I'm hoping to resolve that issue here actually within the next few days. The other thing that would fix it would honestly probably be to get a higher end camera than what this is, because this is a low end camera. And the really good camera I have is behind me. It's the Canon, which you guys can actually see in the shot. So anyways, we're gonna tell that to fit to screen. There we go. All right, there's a couple of these. I'm gonna do that with. So anyways, despite the patchy video quality, of which I apologize for, I wanted to get out and actually do a den time. Like I said before, I'm trying to get back into the den times on a more regular basis. I'm trying to get into them. The goal right now, I think, is going to be to try and do a 3 times a week den time. I don't know the time right now. A lot of times I tend to do them before I go to bed, which is anywhere from 10 o'clock to now, or even slightly later. So that is a change that I know that I've talked to you guys about doing. For my YouTube and Facebook watchers, here's the exciting thing about this. This means that you guys, as long as I can get all of this to work and behave, then that means that you guys will no longer be lagging in content. More specifically, you guys won't be like a month behind in content, because unfortunately I tend to live stream and then I tend to upload either on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, if I can remember to do that. Unfortunately, it tends to be more of a, oh, it's 3 weeks that I've got 8 videos that I need to upload, which is going to take 3 days, because unfortunately my internet speed is crap, and going to Comcast is a waste of damn money because of the amount of content that the household actually goes through. We go through over a terabit of data in a month, which unfortunately Comcast is still very much nickel and dime. They nickel and dime you to death over everything. They charge you for the equipment, which everybody does that unless you buy your own. If you want, because what they don't tell you, and this has actually pissed me off, and we found this out, this is how we found this out, we found it out the hard way, is that we were already paying $100 a month for Comcast, which was their fastest speed available in home. So I was running gigabit internet, which speed-wise was fantastic. I tell a video to upload, and it uploaded in about 5 minutes. I mean, or less. I mean, it was great. It was like, peek. Oh, there we go. But what they don't tell you is that if you go over that terabit of data, they start charging you $10 for every, I want to say $10 for every 50 gigs or something like that. And so with the amount of content that I stream, depending on any given month, I stream either 3 to 5 times days minimum. And then that's just the scheduled recordings. That's not including any of the den times that I do, because I don't schedule those out. And then it's also not including the random streams that I tend to do. So, and then that's also not including the Netflix or any of the other streaming stuff that we do, because we're a very stream heavy content in this household. We don't have TV, so the way that we get our information or the way that we watch things is we watch YouTube, or we stream Netflix or Amazon Prime or things like that. So I mean, that's how we get our content, is that we just stream everything. So so that's my frustration as far as that goes. So here's the things that are going on right now. I'll raise my arm, although it's a little hard for you guys to see with the light glare. So yeah, the light glare is. Anyways, so I've got a needle in my arm right now, because I'm on an infusion, because my MS has been acting up really, really badly over the last couple weeks. So we decided, we went and talked to the we gave the information. I talked to my neurologist. I gave him an update, let him know what was going on, let him know that, hey, these are some things that have been increasing. These are symptoms that have been persistent for longer than 2 weeks. And then these are new symptoms that haven't been quite persistent. They haven't been persistent, but they have been intermittent issues, and they have been happening over a certain amount of time. And so, unfortunately, due to the way that the body works, it's hard to say 100% whether some of the symptoms truly are an MS symptom. There are some things that are definitely MS related. The tremors, the weakness in the body, and some of the other things that I'm dealing with, those are definitely MS related things. I had a few other things. I had some things going. My right leg was starting to show symptoms, and it's hard to know if those are just something else or if it's related to the MS. And the reality is, it probably is MS related. However, it's just kind of hard to say as far as that goes. So, one thing I don't like about the straight version of OBS is I have no idea what the view counter is, and I'm not seeing. I didn't even see the chat come in. So yeah, Twitter's not too bad as far as some things go. So apologize for the late reply. Literally, I've got a window up over that is supposed to be showing me chats. Actually, it does show me chats, and it does show me views. I wonder if I can adjust some settings. I think I'll have to play with that a bit later, so I can actually link in Discord or other things. I haven't used plain OBS in quite some time, and they've actually they've got a variant called OBS Stream Elements. Stream Elements OBS Live. That's what it is. So I've got to play with it a little bit. So anyways, one of the other things that the OBS, at least this version of OBS, offers is it does offer actually a where is it? Captions, that's what it is. Captions. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be being terribly accurate, unfortunately. So I'll have to deal. It might be simply a training thing. So anyways, no, don't open up. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, so no, I've got this oh so wonderful needle in my arm, and we did the first infusion this morning. It's one infusion for the over the next I want to say 5 days. I'll call the doc tomorrow and let him know that they only sent us 3 infusions and just verify the amount with him. I'm pretty positive he said 7, but I could be very wrong about that. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I can turn that off. Oh, I can. All right, I'm gonna have to work with my speech recognition software so that it can actually understand me better. So yeah, those are absolutely horrible and off. Good God, I'm sorry, guys. All right, anyways, so yeah, so no, I've got the infusion. That's good. And that I am going to be dealing with. So the two options were to have them put in an IV, which is what they did. And then there's an extender that has a lock on it so that I don't bleed out. Just kind of scary to think that my fate of potentially bleeding out is held by a little plastic thing. It's a little disconcerting, to be honest. But that's what it is. So the other option was to go to the hospital basically go to the hospital and do it as an inpatient service. Inpatient or outpatient service. Outpatient service. That's what it is. And so I opted to do it in the comfort of my home. And I got to be honest, I'm kind of going, I wish I hadn't done that. And at this point, I'm not really sure if we could change it to where I could be going to the hospital. If I went to the hospital, though, they'd have to stick me every day, and I don't like needles at all. I hate needles. So it's just something I've got to deal with. And unfortunately, part of the MS is there are sometimes where this is a necessary annoyance that I have to deal with in response to what's going on with my body. So anyway, so some things that I've got set up. I got them set up on Facebook because I can do it on Facebook. Is that I've actually got scheduled stuff actually set. So here's the way that is going to work. I've got streams set for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. None of them are at the same time. I'm trying an experiment. But basically what that experiment is excuse me. God, brain, focus and get a thought out. So Mondays are set at 9 p.m. The main reason for this is Monday is the day that my wife and I, if we've got errands to run, we typically do them on Monday. So Monday typically tends to be a day where we're very heavily in the car and driving about and doing a whole bunch of shit, which very, very frustrating and very, very annoying. But again, it is what it is. So the other part of it is typically the wife goes and does. So Sundays and Mondays are usually my wife's karaoke nights. Sunday we usually go to a great place that we love called Peak 31. It's a fantastic place. And we really enjoy it and we think it's fantastic. So we typically, well, I don't always, but so Sundays that's where we go. And then Monday we go to a place called she goes. I don't. I stay home. So Mondays she typically goes to a place called the Control Room, which is a fantastic bar / gaming place. I might actually take a venture there one of these days. And I might just kind of do a live stream there of like me doing some karaoke or streaming the wife doing some karaoke or something like that. So but that's why typically I do a stream about 9 o'clock is because she normally leaves for the Control Room around 8:30. And then I get everything set up for whatever we're doing, and then go from there. So that is pretty much the way that cookie crumbles. Is Mondays is that. Monday or Wednesdays is the next day, and that stream is earlier. That stream is 4 o'clock. And then Friday, the wife was working at the chateau, and so typically Friday she would work, and so I would stream while she was there, but she's no longer there. But 7 o'clock on Friday evening tends to seem to be a good time for me. So that's kind of what I do. So anyway, so that's what's going on right now. Is all 3 of those events are currently set, along with all the dates through the end of the year. The only exceptions to those dates are going to be holidays and, well, basically holidays and important dates like birthdays and things like that. Those are going to be the only exceptions. And even then, I'll probably get a short stream of wanting to wish whoever family member it is happy birthday or something like that, or kind of sharing our thoughts as far as a particular holiday or something like that goes. So anyways, that's pretty much kind of the current plan for the rest of the year, is that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are going to be dedicated stream days. Again, 9 o'clock on Monday, or 9 p.m. Monday, 4 p.m. on Wednesday, and 7 p.m. on Friday. Now, all of those dates are also, or well, not the dates, but the times are also up on the Twitch page. So if you're on the Twitch page, you'll see the stream schedule box underneath, and you'll see those dates plugged in, and all of that. So that's kind of what I've been working on. Is I've been working on trying to see if we can get into a groove where we've got set times where you guys can rely on a stream. I'm very much aware that I'm notoriously either early and or late for those streams, so I will do my best to stay as close to on time as absolutely possible for those. Hopefully, barring computer fuck ups or other things that get in the way, we shouldn't have too much of an issue. Depending on game, though, there's a high possibility that I may only stream to Twitch, and then I will upload it if I have to do that. The main reason is some games just graphically require a lot to run, and even though I've got 12 gigs of RAM for the computer and a 3 gig dedicated vid card, it's a 2-3-year-old computer, and there's not much I can do about it. And the amount of money to invest into the computer, so, well, let's just say this. Some of the upgrades really wouldn't be worth it. At that point, I would be better to just buy a new computer. Something that I want to talk to the wife about, and I thought I talked to her about this earlier, but I probably didn't, is that I do want to actually get a 16 gig RAM stick from Amazon. I am aware that per Lenovo's direct technical support that I've talked to, they've said the max usable RAM for the computer is 16. I gotta be honest, I'm hoping they're wrong. I am very much hoping that they are wrong, because what I plan to do is what I plan to do is, provided everything works out, is I plan on putting the 16 gig in there and then also leaving the 8 gig in there. Effectively, that'll give me about 24 gigs of RAM. The problem is the motherboard may not be able to utilize all 24 gigs. It might see it, but one of the things I learned years ago about computers, especially when it comes to motherboards and RAM, is just because the motherboard can support up to a certain amount doesn't necessarily mean the motherboard can actually use the full amount. So those two numbers are typically very, very different. They've gotten better from what the little tiny bit of research that I've done so far that I've noticed is that brain just died. Is that they've gotten better at making it so that the maximum that you can put on the motherboard is also the usable amount. They've gotten those two numbers to get very, very close, as evidenced by my current motherboard, because my current motherboard, again, states it can use 16, and they put 12 in it initially, which means they went 4 under max RAM in order to do things. So anyways, I'm going to talk with the wife. Our finances right now are a bit tight, as far mainly just due to the fact that we just got back from Vegas, and Vegas was we went out there with about $1,000, and it was just barely enough. We were able to make it work, but it was a bit tight. So if we end up doing this contest again next year, which at the moment the current plan is, and again, life, there were a couple of doors that, and this was actually something that I kind of talked about prior to, in the den time prior to us going actually out to Vegas, is that when it comes to the KWC, part of the judging panel and part of the people that are there are not just part of the judging panel. They may also be part of something else, and or there may be other talent scouts or agencies looking for something. So there were several doors that were at the KWC this year, and one of them, we're praying very much that it comes through. But one of them was a chance for the wife to go overseas for to go overseas, and that's really all I could say at the moment, because I don't know how much of the information is stuff that I can share and stuff that I can't share. So simply put, there was a door that could make it so that Indigo could go overseas. So we'll find out. That was one of the doors that was there. And then there's also just life stuff in between now and then. Indigo and I could end up starting picking up more performing gigs for her, more stuff and things like that. She could be picking up more work and other things. And her professional life and other things could go in a completely different direction altogether. And by the time KWC comes up next year, we may not be in a place to actually participate because we may be doing other things that make it so we can't do it. So, I mean, honestly, life's funny that way. It's really hard to tell what next year's going to bring. It's one of those things where we go, oh, it's next year, we have plenty of time. And the reality is we don't really have plenty of time, as a year is not that far along, and we're already in August. We're about to hit September here in about 4-ish days. I mean, we're already hitting around the end of the year. And it's like, where the hell did the time go? I mean, time passes a lot faster than we think it does. So, we'll see kind of what's going on as far as just kind of life and what's going on as far as Indigo goes, and as far as doors that we have open to us. There's some things right now that, again, it's just life. There's also things where, as far as things that I want to do, may start multiplying, because one of the things that I really want to do, and I need help doing this, and I've got some friends locally that I can talk to see if they can help me get into this, or do it. One of my life dreams has always been to be a public speaker. In a lot of ways, that's what this is. This is a public speaking forum in its own way. So, plain and simple, I want to get more into the public speaking scene, but specifically, I want to talk to people about, I mean, this is moderately conceited, but the point is, I'd like to talk to people about my MS, how it affects me, and then what tools I use to help manage and monitor it and make it so that I'm functional, because I've seen too many people they get a disease, they get a life-altering disease like multiple sclerosis or scoliosis, or any form of cancer or things like that. I mean, and it's just there are these just life-altering diseases that are out there, and depending on the person, the mentality, depending on the person, varies. Anywhere from they just give in to the disease and they let the disease take them, to people like me that look the disease square in the face and tell it to fuck off. And unfortunately, that has gotten me into a little bit of trouble, because I have ended up pushing my body far harder than I should have, or something to that effect. And then Indigo yells at me because I pushed too hard. But the point is, there's everybody in between. There's people that get the news as far as this life-altering disease goes, or it's a life-altering event and they just don't know how to process it. There's something that happens. And so I want to just kind of talk to people about my experience and what I've done, because I mean, medically speaking, I'm a medical miracle. And that's not me going toot. I mean, it literally is. When I was in, I've got the medical documentation to prove it. Not something I necessarily want to put out put it into a digital form publicly out there. But the thing is, when I was 18 months, I had an inner ear infection that went into my throat, swelling what's called the epiglottis flap over my windpipe, sealing it, and my brain was out. I was without oxygen for a little over 5.5 minutes. Brain damage starts occurring at 4 minutes. So the fact that I'm even as functional as I am is a success story, and that is a success story that I want to share with people, to let them know that just because this shit happens to you does not mean it defines you. It is a part of you, it is a part of your life, but the question now becomes, do you let it control you, or do you control it? And I gotta be honest, as strong-willed as I am when it comes to that particular standpoint, there are days where I do let it control me. And it's usually because I was a moron and I pushed too hard and I didn't listen to my wife. And you'll probably hear, and if you've watched the channel a lot, you've heard me say that a lot. My wife, number one, is highly intelligent. I love her to death. Number two, has always had a strong knowledge when it comes to the medical field. She spent a little bit of time training in medical field, so she's got some medical knowledge, and she at times does things to pursue it further and things like that. So medically speaking, my wife has a loose enough background to be able to look at what's going on with me and be like, you're being an idiot. But all of that to say, what I really want to do is I really want to get into a more public, well, I shouldn't say more public, you don't get more public than this. I guess more face-to-face with people, because this is a digital format. Other than the chats or the views and things like that, I don't really see who I'm interacting with. I don't see you guys. I can see the chats, I can see the views, I can see the analytics, I can see that stuff, because it's a digital format, and there's ways for me to look at all that through analytics and things like that. So I can see it digitally, but what I would like to do is I'd like to actually be at conventions or things like that, and actually get face-to-face time and actually talk with you guys directly, because I think that has as much of an impact. And psychologically, we actually need to be around people. There's actually a health benefit to actually being around people and things like that. I've known a lot of people who are recluses, they hide from people and things like that, but because they are recluses, typically cool. Typically what happens when you become a recluse is you actually start risking your immune system, because you are not actually out and about doing things. There's also a psychological side of the equation, of which I know very little about. I'm not a psychologist. I've listened to enough people like Jack Canfield and Psychology is Selling and things like that to know that we need a human connection. I have my wife, I have my brother-in-law. As much as they drive me nuts at times, I do love them to death, and I have them. But I also go outside and I do an RP with some really good friends of mine actually 2 times a week. I've got one set of friends that I hang out with on Tuesday and one set of friends that I hang out on Saturday. And then health provided, I go out and I do the Renaissance Fair, or I do other fairs, or I do things so that I can be around people, which, gotta be honest, took me a long time to actually start doing, because it is difficult for me. I'm a recluse. I am very introverted in a lot of ways. One of the things that whenever I was at work, my managers a lot of times would have to try and do things to pull me out of my shell, because for the most part, when I'm at work, I know what my job is, and so I do my job. But the problem when I do that is that I don't always do the best job of interacting with my coworkers, nor do I necessarily do the best job of interacting with the customer. Because of that behavior, I get very focused on what my job is. And Indigo noted it when I was at the fair. Is there's a particular behavioral trait that I tend to exude when I'm working at the fair and in the character, and it's not necessarily a very good behavioral trait. It's not intentional by any means, but there are behaviors that you may not realize that you're doing until you're out and you got somebody who loves you and cares you enough to call you on your bullshit. Because trust me, if you have a friend that you get pissed off at because they call you on your bullshit, that's the best friend that you have. And that's coming from personal experience. The best friends that I have are the friends that call me on my bullshit, and they don't care where we're at. It'll be in the middle of Walmart and I'll be doing something stupid and they'll just look at me and be like, dude. So yeah, I want to get out. Another thing that I want to do, and I'm talking to Indigo about, is I want to get back into teaching fencing. I have, in a lot of ways, I have a very special place in my heart for fencing. Other than martial arts, fencing has been one of the longest things that I have proactively actually done. I want to get back into martial arts, but unfortunately, Tony or Indigo and I's budget does not doesn't lean in that direction. Unfortunately, I really wish it did, but when most schools are about 150 to 175-ish thereabouts at minimum, and you've got $300 leftover money at the end of the month after paying all of your bills, spending about half of that is not a good decision. So as much as I would like to get back into martial arts financially, it is not something that I can do. As far as the financial side of the equation goes, I have enough material and videos and access to online stuff so I can continue to do some training, but honestly, without an instructor who can actually look at you and how you're moving, there's not a lot of aha moments. And those are the moments that I lived for when I was teaching martial arts or teaching fencing, was those aha moments. I love the aha moments. And when you talk to a lot of instructors and things like that, that's usually the main answer that you get from them, is they like the aha moment. They like seeing that look in the person's eye when something clicks, when it locks into place, and they go, I get it. So that's definitely one of my most favorite things about teaching, is seeing that aha moment. So I want to get back into fencing. Unfortunately, that's again some more expense because I need to replace equipment that I no longer have. I don't have my fencing jacket. I don't really need fencing knickers per se. A good pair of exercise pants works just fine. But I'm anal retentive when it comes to my gear. When I'm teaching martial arts, I like to be in full martial arts gear. When I am teaching and doing fencing, I like to be in full-on fencing gear. For a couple of reasons. Number one, it's designed to move in a particular way so that you can do the motions and the stuff that you need to do. So that's very important. The other thing is it also tends to inspire your students to want to buy the equipment. And for a club, that's very, very important, is to inspire people to want to invest in it. Because when you've got a person who's coming and they're just borrowing your gear and they're fencing and they're learning and they seem to enjoy things, that's great. But when they go, hey, you know what, sensei, or instructor, I want to get my own gear. Where can I get it? Where do you get your stuff? That's important to me, because it means they're taking the time to invest in themselves so that they can progress further. Because the reality is if you're going to a fencing club and they've got limited numbers of gear that can be borrowed, you've got to be there first to grab what's there. Otherwise, you've got to trade jackets and weapons and things like that, and it just becomes a very large headache. So seeing people actually go, I want to invest, is my second favorite moment, is when people actually take a financial investment into what they're doing, because it's very, very important that they do that as far as investing goes. So anyways, I've prattled on a lot without any too much of a coherent thought, so I apologize for that. Anyways, you guys rock. Thank you very much for being part of the first Restream.io test. I very much appreciate it. I wanted to test it on something like a Den Time, something that graphically is just a camera and a microphone, something very, very simple. Tomorrow we will try this with a game and we'll see how things go. Hopefully there's not a whole lot of lag and things aren't too bad. I might have to put in a stream delay of about 20-30 seconds to try and help out with lag and things like that. A stream delay tends to actually help when it comes to lag. So that being said, that's where we're going to give it a shot. So anyways, thank you guys very much. This is being streamed on 3 different platforms, which I'm very, very happy about. It's being streamed on my Twitch page, it is being streamed on my Facebook page, and it is being streamed on my YouTube page. And I'm very, very happy that all 3 platforms are getting this stream. So again, depending on variables, this will be the standard setup as far as vlogs go. I see zero reason to change it because my computer can handle this without too much of an issue, which is good. As far as game content goes, I guess it'll have to be a case-by-case basis, and we'll go from there. Anyways, thank you guys so much. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that sub and follow button. And until the next time, I'm Panther 022. Peace out. I will see you guys on the next streamer upload.